break.
Hello guys, I should have sorted out the microphone problem. Thankfully, let's not do that again. Today we are having a look at the new update. We are going to go through the different types of structures that we can now make, and we are going to see what it costs to make them. First order of business. I don't call this a vertical elevator, I call it a ski lift, because it's a ski lift. Bye. It took me a moment to figure out how to implement this, but I had to remove the bridge and then line it up with the far side, well, the closest foundation, and then get it across. You do see it quite clearly when you place it down. Now I'm gonna gently jump down. That rhino looks kind of interested in me. I don't like that. Oh, he's walking away. Whoop! No good at ledge walking. Okay, so I'm gonna run over here again. And then you can see that if you pull the skull, you don't get any indication of that you're able to pull it, but you can if you just look at it and press E. It comes over to you, so yeah, that works quite well. I am glad how that turned out. You see the spikes under there? I think that's a pretty cool feature. Next order of business, we are going up, but in order to do that, we have to go down. And here we have it. Now it's upstairs. Doesn't that look cool? I love this. And then I just had to add a little door frame there and it works perfectly fine. It looks a little bit different than the vertical one. But yeah, that's the elevator. Let's go on with the next little project. We got some new defense items for our buildings because they were going to implement climbing. I've tried to climb the walls. It did not work. Not as of yet, so I'm guessing that is not in this update. But I had to work really hard to get some tier 3 stuff. I'm not quite there yet, so it took a while. A bit longer than I expected. But these are actually the new, well, the new crenelations, I do believe they're called. That allows the archers to shoot from the wall. However, you can fall down here, so be a little bit careful. Also, we got these siege cauldrons, and I have put tar inside them. As you can see, that is why they are bubbling so nicely. And if you pull the lever, it pours the tar out. Now, one thing I was a bit concerned about was, does it use all the tar? No. It uses one tar each time you pull the lever. So, it's quite good that way. You have to pull it back. And that's like using boiling oil. It does fit really well with the tier 3 stuff. And I was thinking I'm going to bring you downstairs and you can see what it looks like from the outside. And this is what it looks like from the outside. Now you can see that I have used the fences on top of the little building bits as well, and this is to prevent people from climbing up on the rooftops there and get an advantage from up top. I'm not sure, they were talking in the stream about that the spikes would do damage, so that would prevent you from climbing up the crenelations, but as far as I can see, there's spikes all over this wall, so I don't really see how anyone would be able to climb a tier 3 building. Now, it took me quite a while to get the materials to build this, so obviously I have not converted the whole base yet. And probably I would convert the top bit first for the protection. It would leave the lower bit more vulnerable for attacks from siege towers and such, but it's a risk I kind of have to take. But I do have double walls, so the double layers should make it more difficult for them to break through. We're on a PvE server, so it's not really an issue, but I am thinking from all aspects of the game. Now, this does look really cool, and the siege cauldrons up there looks really intimidating, that you could have hot tar poured over you. The difference between this one and the ones I built before is that I only used the fences for the previous build, but the crenelations are so thin in the middle of that, it left me with basically a floor and a support. So I figured it was better to put in separate wall pieces and 2 floors and then the support under that to make it a little bit more sturdy and believable for the eye. You can only digest so much in this game. There are things that don't seem very realistic. In all fairness, it is just a game, and yes, it's just pixels, but you want to make it look very close to what would be believable, and that is how it looks from the inside. I have not yet finished off the wall on the inside, but yeah, it looks cool. It looks really intimidating. And now on to something that I was looking forward to a lot. If you have watched my previous episodes, you know that this was one of my favorites from the stream. And here we go. The Drawbridge. Now, I chose to go with a double set of gates for this one, because it gives you the extra protection of the gate. So if for some reason you've got the drawbridge down, you have an extra layer of protection. It looks pretty cool, and the doors fits very neatly in between. They're just one fence long, so well, one foundation long, so that fits perfectly in there. You see there's like a little gap in between. So yeah, this is the drawbridge. Now, as I said, I would open it up so it makes it, if you fall down there, you actually died. I did, twice, yesterday. While building this, I fell down and died. Had to run down and pick up my stuff again. I also chose to do this little middle thing, just because I wanted the gates to be separated enough to be supported by the cliffs, or at least believably supported by the cliffs, with foundations that are built up from the ground. But this is what it looks like. Pull that little lever. And it goes into place. Again, this is subject to changes. It will probably go in tier 3 gates instead of tier 2. I chose that to be the easier options with the tier 3 walls I had to build for the other project. The base is starting to come together somewhat in those aspects. I'm actually gonna go around and show you what it looks like from the other side. So from this side, even if this drawbridge is down, you see they can get here, but then they're kind of stuck. And even if they try to climb up and around, they don't get very far. Also, these foundations are going to be put in a higher tier to make them look more smooth, and just generally make it look better. But that is the drawbridge from the outside when it's closed. Wish there was a doorbell. Ring the doorbell. Let me in! I might put a horn. I don't know. We'll see. Everything is subject to change. Now, they did put more in this update, which unfortunately I am not able to show you this time because it requires some pretty high NPCs to do that. We do have the grenades, as they were initially called in the street. They need an alchemist. Now, I don't have an alchemist, so that is something I have to go out and get. But they are made in the fireball cauldron. I have the recipes for them, and you learn the recipes by learning the fireball cauldron. So, as long as you know the workstation, you know how to make the bonds and all the colors, and that is the new thing. The other thing is the defense from avatars. Now, you need a tier 3, and I have sorted the items to make a tier 3. I'm missing the manifestations, but that is something I can get fairly easy, so that's not a problem. Now, you get all this done, and I have the archpriest, so for next time we are going to go through some weaponry and defense. Until then, you're gonna have to be patient and wait for the next video to come out. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to my channel. If you want to watch more videos, there's a link for that. And if you like Conan in general, go visit my buddy Grimm's site. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.